Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of John's Cards. Today I'm going to be talking about the most controversial two-word company in the sports card hobby. That's right, I'm talking about Whatnot. Whatnot is the original live selling platform that is so popular and so ubiquitous in the sports card community. For some people, it's their only major way of sourcing cards. For other people, it's become a great way of selling. It's become an alternative to eBay. I've even seen people who are not having a good time at card shows at their vendor table selling on Whatnot from the table because it's going to make them, what in their opinion, more faster sales. For those of you that are new to Whatnot, the quickest way to explain it is that a seller will show a card and people will start bidding by swiping. It's either sudden death, meaning that there's a set finite time, like say 20 seconds, and the last person to bid will win, or there is non-sudden death, where with each bid the clock resets to usually 5 seconds, and then that's more of a traditional auction style where when there are no bidders left, whoever has the high bid in that moment will win the auction. But I'm talking to you about Whatnot today because within the sports card community, there's a lot of fear surrounding Whatnot. A lot of stories like this.
Rookie! Nah, we leveled up. Jackson doors! No. Oh my god! 3, 2, 1 and gone. White disco prism, we're gonna go! We do not like darts. We do not like darts. You know what I do like? Me and player. My last one. Go! Gone.
And so the question becomes, how can we avoid this fate? Paying 4 times comps on a card that is basically pressure sold to us. Well, that's where I come in. Today, I'm going to show you some of my favorite strategies to safely buy high-end sports cards on Whatnot. Some of these might be in your wheelhouse, some of these might be uncomfortable to you. I just want to give you some options because all I'm seeing right now is a lot of negativity surrounding certain sellers on Whatnot, that channel exposing massive overpays on Whatnot, and rather than just complain about it, I want to show you what I've been able to do pick up some good deals and be comfortable with my purchases. So let's check some out. In order to get good deals on Whatnot, you have to first understand how these sellers are motivating these buyers to pay 4 times comps and get these incredible sales from the seller perspective and duping a lot of buyers. So the number one thing they're doing is over-simulating you. So whether it's screaming really loudly into their mic, whether it's flashing the card around, waving it around, whether it's having people in the chat drop numbers. So all the time you'll hear people, all right, if you're with me, drop 10 in the chat. And then the chat just starts going so fast. And for a lot of people, it can be overwhelming. And you have the card right in front of you and they're screaming, come on, bid, we're too low, it's too low. If you understand that, then you understand how you can avoid that, right? So that's overstimulation. The other thing is pressure selling, okay? So oftentimes, and people who are on Whatnot, you'll be very familiar with what I'm talking about. You'll hear something like, we're too low. Last one did 4 times this. Guys, we're thousands off. Some guys will even start their countdown too early. So when it gets to say 7 seconds left, they'll count 3, 2, 1, and gone. But there's still 3 seconds left. So people are furiously swiping and trying to bid. And that can lead to massive overpays. So between the overstimulation of all the noise and all the color and the chat and everything going around and then also the pressure selling on a sudden death basis, Whatnot can be very dangerous, and a lot of people have just completely gotten off the platform entirely. And for a while, I was one of those guys. I was taken to the cleaners on a lot of cards on Whatnot. I still remember some of my big losses, and I'm only talking about singles too. I'm not even talking about what people screw themselves over with when they get into breaks or when they buy repacks or any of that kind of business. But there are some ways, if you're smart and if you're willing to put in the work, where you can actually do really well on Whatnot. And the first thing you have to do, more important than anything else, is only buy graded cards. Okay, so that is step one. Graded cards only. Now you might say, well, why? Okay, these guys are running all these raw cards. Well, I'll tell you from my experience. 10 seconds is not enough time to figure out if the card's in good condition. Even if I was at a dealer table at a show and I had the card in my hand, it would take me longer than 10 seconds to figure that out. Okay, so now you add in the element of it's through a screen, it's through two screens technically, it's through one guy's iPhone and then my iPhone, right? Then the fact that I only have 10 seconds in some cases to evaluate condition, I've been burned on this. I've bought cards with bad corners, I've bought cards with ink dots. It's very easy for a guy to hold his thumb over the bad part of the card. And then you get it and it's like, oh, our policy says all sales final. Sorry, can't help you. Shady, but you know, that's the way it is, right? So how do you avoid that? You buy graded cards, okay? That's one of the great, a lot of people complain about grading. A lot of people say, oh, grading is killing the hobby. Well, what grading has done that's a good thing is it's economized the hobby. Okay, it's turned it into a commodity market. So I know a PSA 10 goes for this price, a PSA 9 goes for this price, and then I can look at that card that's up on my screen, and I can say, okay, that's a PSA 10, and then we're off and running, right? So that's my number one best tip if you're getting started, okay? Graded cards only. For number two, if you want to get your eye in, start in a non-sudden death room, because that's going to give you more time to actually evaluate the card, okay? So there's a lot of rooms that run non-sudden death, the more traditional auction of it's going up, we got another bid, it's going up, another bid. And that is a really useful tool when you're starting out because you're not as rushed. It gives you time to go on and to comp a card. This is part of what I would call the two-screen strategy, which I'll get into in a minute. But as long as you're starting in a non-sudden death room, you have a little bit more time, right? You have a little bit more ability to evaluate, even do I want that card? Is that what I do? I can't tell you in my earlier days how many times I bought kabooms on whatnot. It just never worked for me. The case hit thing doesn't work for me. But cool thing is on the non-sudden death side, you're able to slow things down. And also the cool thing is a lot of times on whatnot, cards will sell back to back, meaning that if a guy has, say, a PSA 10 Cooper Flag Topps Chrome, he probably has 2 or 3. So you can think about it, see what it goes for in a non-sudden death room, and that almost becomes like your de facto comp. But just remember, whatnot sales do not show up on Card Ladder, Market Movers, or any of those other apps. So you really do have to be vigilant. But now I'm going to get into strategy 3, and this is where I'm the most successful. So strategy 3 is called the two-screen strategy. So this is when I have my laptop in front of me, open to a comping app, so that could be 130 Point, eBay, Market Movers, Card Ladder, there's a billion that I'm forgetting, Collects, whatever it is. So I use Market Movers personally, and so I'll have it open to Market Movers, and I'll have my phone on whatnot. And you'll see I give an example from a non-sudden death room here. I screen capped it on my phone, and first I'm just going to show you how the sale went down.
Guys, give me a fucking Troy. If you actually watched last year, Bo Nix and Troy Franklin were absolutely on fire last year together. Give me Troy Franklin rookie auto go. Troy Franklin rookie auto, guys.
Live, let's go.
Big boy.
Oh, Troy Franklin auto.
Guys, live. Live. Troy Franklin rookie auto, chat. Troy Franklin rookie auto. Where's my Denver fans at? Great grab on that.
All right, that's how the sale went down. Now let's see. Can I comp this card before it sells? And remember, if I know the comp, I can feel safe because I know, even if I want to overpay, right? Let's say the card comps to $100 and I'm willing to pay $125 because I'm just looking for that card. At least I know that, as opposed to what used to happen to me where I would go in completely blind and be like, oh, that card looks like $100, and then buy it and it's like $40. So check out this screen recording I made. I just took the exact same auction that we just watched, and I had my second screen up and I comped as the auction was going.
Guys, give me a fucking Troy. If you actually watched last year, Bo Nix and Troy Franklin were absolutely on fire last year together. Give me Troy Franklin rookie auto go. Troy Franklin rookie auto, guys.
Live, let's go.
Big boy.
Oh, Troy Franklin auto.
Guys, live. Live. Troy Franklin rookie auto, chat. Troy Franklin rookie auto. Where's my Denver fans at? Great grab on that.
Not bad, right? I'm pretty proud of that. But, you know, that's pretty easy. I mean, non-sudden death, you know, that's child's play. So I came up with a scenario that I'm going to show you. So let's just say it was a 10-second sudden death. This is where some of those channels, which I won't name because I don't want to get sued, this is where some of those channels really do well, is they just do not give you enough time. They start screaming, bid, 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 bid. And then there's guys in the chat saying, come on, guys, it's thousands off. And then they'll make up something, right? Like, oh, card ladder, expected value is blah, blah, blah. And you just don't have enough time to fact check them. But if you get good at this, and you know how to use Market Movers or another one of those apps, you can do it. Okay, so if you notice, on the last one, I went to the comp tool, and I just looked at the last, like, 3. Okay, last 3 was like $6, $6, $4.25. Card sold for $17. Not interested, okay? So here's a scenario I came up with. Let's say it's a 10-second sudden death auction for a Victor Wembanyama rookie Prism Silver PSA 10. One of the most heavily traded cards in the world, right? This is a card that it's going to sell every single day. So can I, in less than 10 seconds, comp this card and have enough time to go put in the bid on my phone? Not bad, not bad. I got some good reflexes. I will say it is sometimes harder with cards that are more scarce. So for that Wemby Silver card is, you know, admittedly that was an easy one, right? But, you know, I can do this for anything, especially if I'm working on graded cards, right? Graded cards, you know, even something numbered becomes much easier. And I would also recommend, I don't know if I mentioned this when I showed you the first video, don't go into the charts or anything fancy. Just type in the name of the card as fast as you possibly can. Okay? And once you see the picture of the card and the last sale, then you know you're good. Okay? Obviously, you know, you want to see, if you have time, you want to look at a few sales. But at least I know, okay, $2,800 is the last one. I'll go to $2,700. After fees, I'll put $2,800 in. That's the card. Okay? And that kind of goes into my next piece of advice. And this is really fun too. This is called the two-man game. This is for all of you guys that either have a business partner or a sibling or just someone that loves cards like you do and is in the room with you. And this becomes like it sounds. It's the two-man game, the give and go, if you will. Guy puts up a card, I have it up on my phone. Okay. You shout over to the guy who's on his laptop next to you on Market Movers or eBay or whatever, and you say, all right, this is a 2025 PSA 10 Cooper Flag Topps Chrome Refractor. Go. Types it in, and he will, and you know, I usually do this with my brother. Shout out to him, and he'll go, that's $200 or whatever the price is. Cooper Flag refractors are more than that, but just go with me. That's $200. Okay, cool. So with that information, I'll put in my max bid. You never want to swipe, ever, ever, ever. If you swipe, you're just asking to be lit up by the guy who's swiping as well. So stay away from that. You say custom bid, put in whatever, you know, it's Cooper Flag. I love buying Cooper Flag, so I'll buy it a comp, $200. Okay, if I get it, great. If I don't get it, the guy who paid $500 is a sucker. And I know that's like not the kindest thing to say, but that's how it is, right? Like if I'm gonna set a new market for the card, then I'll go buy it at a show or something. Like I'm not really interested in having my super high. I'm not really interested in having my max dollars go to a guy who's way overcharging for cards, right? So I'm not paying it for, you know, an auto, and I'm only getting a base refractor back, if that makes any sense at all. And the last piece of advice I have is just calm everything down, mute your phone. That's how they get you. You can't do the overstimulation thing. Okay, so if people are screaming, bid, bid, oh, come on, guys, we're thousands off, thousands off, thousands off. I don't want to know all that. I don't need extra information, right? Like all guys who love to talk about, you know, the out of 5 red just did $5,000 when he's selling me a base card. It's like, I don't care what the out of 5 did. This is a base card. It has nothing to do with it. So what I do is I just turn off the sound. I know it sounds so easy, but people forget to do that. I just want to look at the card and make a decision, right? This is a PSA 9 Shohei Ohtani pitching rookie, Topps Chrome, right? Just tell me that. I don't need to know all the fancy details. I don't need to know where it's going. I don't need to know what you heard your buddy sold one for. All that stuff is extra and it's all bogus and kind of useless. I just want to know the key information. What is the card? What grade is it in? How much time? If I know that, I don't need anything else. I don't need someone telling me that I should bid. I don't need people in the chat saying, we're low, guys, we're low, we're low. I don't need the extra pressure. There's already a lot of pressure in a sports card negotiation. So I hope this video has been kind of helpful. What I would like to give you as my main takeaways. Buy graded over raw, ignore the noise. Team up with a friend or just use 2 screens by yourself. But the more information that you have that's relevant when you're going in to make a purchase on whatnot, the safer you'll be. If you don't get the card, that's okay. There's a billion ways to buy a sports card. If you can get a good deal, I congratulate you. That's amazing. But the number one thing is that your money and your time and your card sort of collection is going to be safe if you approach whatnot the same way that you would approach walking up to a dealer at a card show. Just remember, you've never asked a dealer at a card show what the card ladder value is. You've never asked a dealer at a card show how much time you have left. A dealer's never screamed in your face that you have to bid. We're under, guys, we're under. Just calm down. Focus on the card. Focus on getting the card at a price that's comfortable to you. And if you don't get it, that's totally okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of John's Cards. Please hit that like button, give me a comment, subscribe. I can use the help. I want to build a big following here as fast as I can. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of your day and happy collecting.